What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Land, and today we have yet again another video showcasing some really cool things that you may have missed in Kirby and the Forgotten Land. These could be little glitches that we found throughout the internet, or also things that you have given us that are cool little Easter eggs or surprises that we might have missed. Thank you and congrats to everyone that gets a shout out in this video for your amazing comments on the things that you have found, and if you find anything else in this game that is a cool Easter egg or some type of lore thing, or maybe if it's a glitch or something that you can do in the game that's pretty cool that Nintendo really doesn't allow us to do, let me know in the comments down below. Anything is fair game, as long as I didn't cover it already. Also, real quick before we get started, let's see how many people we can get to subscribe to the channel from this video. You guys are doing absolutely amazing, almost 500 subscribers a day for the last week. You guys have been showing so much support for Kirby, and I really do appreciate it. Let's get to 200,000 subscribers in no time. Thank you guys so much. Let's get onto our list of 10 things that you might have missed in Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So you guys have been slamming me with this one. For some reason, I actually did this my first time. I just thought it was a mission that required you to get a Waddle Dee, and I didn't really include it because of that. But actually, it's a pure secret with just some goodies for you to collect. So at the very end of the Waste Where Life Began, you will see a giant hotel. And there's actually a break in the fence where you can actually go back into that hotel, and it's very pretty. You get a little waterfall and a little sauna area, but you get to go inside and pretty much play a little mini game. If you win the mini game, you get to open up the gate full of different treasures, such as food, coins, and even a figurine. And all you have to do is play this little mini game where these different types of green crystals come down these conveyor belts, and all you have to do is collect them all in order to open up that fence. It's really not that hard, and it should be really cool if you haven't tried this yet. Number 2, the trophies are really cool, but did you know that with the Chaos Elfland trophy, it's a little bit different than the rest? For some reason, it either looks like or it is actually moving its eyes to follow Kirby when you spin it in the diorama section. Yes, look at the red pupils as they go backwards to look at Kirby. It's kind of creepy. Now this could easily just be the lighting, and maybe his entire eye is just a dark red and the lighting is what's kind of changing, but it's weird because it's the only statue in the game that actually has some type of lighting reflection like that, and it follows Kirby. Unless there's one that I missed, this is very creepy. You can even compare it to the original version where obviously it has some eyes that continue to look forward, but this one, it definitely creeps me out. You go to Frost Street, the very first level of the snow area, and make your way to the very end, you can see the entire town from above, and even the clock tower in the back that you can visit. But did you know that you can actually see the bridge, which is Blizzard Bridge, the last level of this world, in the very back? You can see how far it expands all the way along the mountain range, and it's just really cool that you can see this. But it's not the only time that you get to see it either. At the end of Windy Freezing Seas, which is the third level of the snow area, you can see the bridge even closer, almost like it's right beside Kirby. That's because it's the very next level from here. So it really feels like Kirby is progressing through this world. It's a nice little touch that many people probably wouldn't notice. Not of a lot of the worlds, I don't think any of the worlds actually have a progression theme like this, besides maybe the amusement park. This one might be pretty obvious if you guys went into this final boss without any type of copy ability, but when you're fighting Chaos Elfland, the last phase, you can actually suck in the floating orbs that float around it, which is pretty cool because they deal a lot more damage than any of the stars that it shoots out. If you're finding yourself in critical condition and desperate because maybe you lost your copy ability like I did at the last second, which scared the heck out of me, you're still able to suck up some stars that it shoots out, obviously, but definitely go for those orbs around him because you'll definitely deal a lot of damage. Ugh, I wonder what they taste like. Now back to the figurines. This is actually a theory that I've been working on slowly and trying to build up more of a concrete story for, but we all thought that Haltman might have something to do with this from Kirby Planet Robobot. And here's the reason why. If you look at the three main companies, Haleen, Alival, and of course Lytron, they all spell out HAL, which is of course another reference to the company that produced this game. But what's very interesting about this is it's the first letters of Haltman's name as well. And we know from the Lytron Works sign and the description that Lytron eventually split up, giving rise to many rival companies and countless heated corporate battles, which makes me think that maybe Haltman moved on and created his own company from the likes of the other three. Trust me, more on that in a later video. In Kirby and the Forgotten Land, when you get the Morpho Knight Sword, you can shoot laser beams out of it when you are at full health, and same with Meta Knight Sword. But did you know that you don't have to necessarily be at full health in order to use this all the time? Go to the Waddle Dee shop and purchase the Life Up bottle, and use it. This will give you a whole nother life meter. And no matter how much damage you're taking on that first meter, you can still fire these beams out from your sword. So if you want to go around just hacking and slashing in the post game with your Morpho Knight or Meta Knight sword and also shooting beams out, you definitely can do so now with this power up. Last time we talked about the Howl Rooms and how they played the Kirby Star Allies theme song. Well, thanks to Michi on YouTube, we were able to find out that they play more than just that song. It's actually a remix of 3 different songs. Kirby Star Allies, Kirby Fighters 2, and the Kirby Clash themes will all play in a melody if you wait long enough and you can hear them. Here's a quick glimpse of all the songs. You might ask why these songs. Well, these are the 3 Kirby games that you can currently purchase right now on the Switch, so maybe some free advertising, but you can also go into Kirby's house and read the book on the table, and when you open this book, you'll notice those top 3 games are the same games you'll hear their songs in the Howl Room, and you can even listen to them again by just going over their picture, and you can even listen to the past Kirby songs by clicking on their small pictures along the bottom as well. Take a listen. Something else that's pretty small, but pretty interesting to me as well, is something that I didn't notice, is that with the Clawline boss fight, you can actually inhale her knives in order to get the sword copy ability. Now, it's one of the only bosses in the game that allows you to gain a copy ability from one of their own attacks. So this is a pretty neat trick, and I just thought it was cool. It's probably never really needed because the boss is never really that hard where you'll probably lose your copy ability, but it's just something cool that the developers decided to add that I'm definitely glad they did. If you go to Burning Churning Power Plant in Redgar and play through the stage casually, you still probably won't notice something that's very well hidden within the actual music of the stage. Now, this is probably one of my favorite themes of the entire game, but it's a specific part of the song that actually resembles a past Kirby game a little too much. While playing the factory level in Kirby and the Crystal Shards, you'll probably notice a similar theme in this same level, and they sound very, very much alike in this certain part. Let me play it for you. So this does make you wonder, were these 2 songs just kind of made because of the fact they were just factories and it was just a cool music thing that Hal wanted to add in there? Or maybe there's something deeper. Maybe we're actually on Shiver Star, and that might lead to a lot of explanations that I will get into once again in a later video. But it's just speculation. Now, this last one is probably one of the most interesting glitches in the game, and it's called the hammer glitch. Yep, you're probably wondering what the heck just happened. Kirby just shot in the air like an actual rocket. Well, if you have any of the hammer abilities, you are able to do a hammer slam by holding down the attack button in the air, and you might know this, but what you have to do to trigger this glitch is hover in the air, and right as Kirby is running out of air and falling down, go into your hammer slam. In the same frame your hammer hits the ground, hold the jump button, and then immediately start mashing it to fly higher and higher in the air. You might say, okay, cool, Nintendo Land, well, what's the point? Well, this leads into many different exploits that can literally boom you outside of a level and allow you to see the level in different ways. My favorite one is in the level Gathering of the Beast Council. Now, you'll want to have a co-op with you and make sure the Bandana D is standing right beside you. You don't need anyone to play, just have him standing beside you. Do this glitch where you'll jump up, fly up in the air, and you'll be able to reach over the boundary if you do it the correct way down the street street where you normally take after defeating Gormondo. Again, for some reason, you actually need Bandana D to get over this wall because he teleports back to Kirby, I guess boosting him up a little higher and fixing the camera, allowing you to jump over that wall. But when you're done, you can actually get rid of your co-op and journey in single player. But what makes this so cool is that you get to see this path in a new angle and actually fight Gormondo with Car Mouth Kirby. Yes, one of the copy abilities that you're normally never able to fight a boss with, we're able to do so with this exploit. And you get to run all the way back to the path, grab the car, drive it all the way back, which actually triggers a timed Waddle Dee scene, because normally that's what would happen if you went to that gate normally, but now you can fight Gormondo with a car. And that was 10 things you probably didn't know you could do in Kirby the Forgotten Land. Guys, if you find any more secrets or hidden theories or types of things that tie into lore, maybe even more glitches that you can do that show some really cool things, let me know in the comments down below and you could be featured in the next video. Thank you so much for those that submitted and those that are tuning in, and I will see you all on the next one. See you guys.